Hello, everyone. Welcome back to After Emoris. We are here today with Dyto and Esprit the Dragon. Dyto plays a very lovely barbarian druid by the name of Thyra, and Esprit the Dragon plays a very interesting and sometimes suspicious character. Sometimes, but only sometimes, remember. Sometimes
Only
suspicious
sometimes.
character. Exactly. Of Elakian, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. He is Elakian and an elf rogue, not rouge. He is not red. So, no worries about that. So, episode 8. Technically, session number 29.
Yeah.
How unbelievable is that? You guys have been doing this for over half a year already.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. And we haven't missed a week yet, so we're going strong on that front.
That
Exactly.
is fantastic. So, this past session, talk about the consequences. Holy cow. The previous episode, it was very crazy with all the action and the drama and the Nigel Thornberry issue. And, but this past session, torture, killing, consequences, and
Yeah.
we're probably going to be seeing even more consequences in the next episode as well. Just
I feel like
It's-
that's a given at this point.
exactly.
Yeah, I think no matter what we would have decided to do or ended up doing, there would have been some kind of consequence. Even if we stayed by the door like we were supposed to, there would have been some kind of consequence to that.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. So, my first question to the both of you here: now that you do know at least more information now, if you had known then what you do now, would you have led your characters to do different decisions in regards to staying in position at the tunnel like Master Gethin instructed?
I probably would not have. Mainly because it boils down to kind of what we told Master Geth in the first place, which was we heard a commotion and we assumed that it was because they were in trouble, and then we went to go check it out and got roped into a whole another ordeal. So it was kind of one of those things where it's just like we were worried about them, and then we got pulled into something else that made it even worse. But
I think if Thyra had more information, I think she would have she wouldn't have followed the mission at all. She would have had the information that Esop would have been there. She would have went looking for him right away.
Yeah, that I believe, and I think I can understand what the other characters, especially Free, probably would have supported
for sure.
going to go get him anyway, and Wade probably would have just gone right up to the guy and probably smacked him upside the head pretty quickly, I would imagine. All right.
Thyra's intent, she wanted to kill him for sure, but she wanted her information, which is why she was trying to lure him away from the group.
And well, thankfully, everyone got their wish that basically the jerk is dead. So, but speaking of his death, or rather, immediately after, I don't think I was the only one who was surprised when all of a sudden Thyra decided to punch Elakian on the jaw right after Elakian did the job.
I don't think it was surprising. It's not the first time she's done that to him. I
And it sure
highly
as hell isn't gonna
doubt
be the
it'll be the last. But he, at that point, she didn't really want to, she thought he deserved to die, for sure. And he specifically told her he will get out of jail and he will eventually start the roadshow again. But the group wasn't at a point to where she felt we were ready to just gung-ho and shoot first, which is, what a Lakey tends to do. Kill first, ask questions later. Which actually gets us into a lot of trouble when he just decides to just, go kill somebody or something.
Too bad you guys don't have a necromancer on your team. But yes. So, Esprit, do you think Elakian is going to be staying with the school, knowing that a lot of information had been withheld despite being quite a low rank when it comes to missions?
It's kind of like what I told Geth, is that even though I'm like low level, I still feel like there should be some level of respect and mutual trust, which, despite whatever Geth said, I don't feel like that was actually the case, considering we had very, very little information to go off of during this entire thing. Despite me poking and
time frame to wait.
Exactly. Yeah, it was just, despite poking and prodding, it was just like, yeah, we're going to give you the bare bones information so you can't fuck it up. And then we still fucked it up because they didn't give us enough information.
Oops. Well, do you think that one of the other masters that you told the team's background information to, do you think that they purposely withheld that from Master Geth?
I don't know necessarily purposefully, but it was probably, I just feel like there's too many people that I could encounter that they didn't have the time or the resources to just send word around of like all of our excursions to every master that I could possibly interact with.
Yeah, we even got a glimpse of another gentleman, Master Felkis, who did not recognize Elakian as a student at all.
No.
But yes. So, got a question for Thyra here.
Okay.
Why did she keep the outfit? She had an opportunity to return it when they were in the same room as Master Geth, but clearly held on to it.
Honestly, that was player error, not character error. There were some things that were going on here behind the scenes, and honestly, he kicked me out before I could. It wasn't asked for, it wasn't brought up, and Thyra was told to leave. So she did as she was asked.
All right. Well,
and she forgot it was in there. And
Whoops.
She does that a lot.
Well, that's always what I usually go is if I forget something, it's like, whoop, I walk through a door, which means the thought stayed in the other room.
Yeah.
All right, so we actually have a question from Neops de Tre from the Discord Q&A. Could Chaos or Isabel be a liability to the group down the line?
I think as much of a liability as any of us really are. We all tend to have our chaotic sides.
No pun intended.
Yeah. In any situation, one of us could go off the rail. So I think we're all equal liabilities to each other.
Agreed. Yeah, it's. I feel like Chaos is definitely more of a loose cannon than any of us are. But by the same token, it's like Dyto said, like we all have our chaotic sides and have our own things that we do and our quirks. So it's just gonna have to be trying to work through all of those together and come to the same end.
Mm-hmm. And well, speaking of Neop the Trace, he is actually one of the first viewers that are, at least in the Discord, that actually submitted fan art of the Swindler's Den. in the description below, you can follow the YouTube link to see the Church of Dice that he created, and make sure you watch when it goes all the way around to the back so that you can see the fantastic, tedious detail that he put into the Swindler's Den logo.
I will definitely be worshipping at that church.
100%.
Spoiler alert, there's lava inside. But yeah, so those were some little tougher questions, so let's move on to some more lighthearted questions, because that was quite a bit of drama. I think we're all still processing it. So I asked this question to Abnormal Chemist, and Equa. Equa is not funny as well. But do you guys have a specific set of dice that you would like to use in specific situations, or do you rely on digital? I think we'll let Dyto go first, as we could see her dice on the wall right there.
Wall of dice. I've kind of gotten to a point that I don't pick my dice. I allowed the Discord to pick my dice unless I have new dice, and then I'll use the new dice that I. But yeah, usually it's the Discord that decides what dice. They have a picture of my dice wall, so they tell me shelf 3 jar, third jar from the left.
Yes, I remember I got to pick a couple of times, and thankfully the one time it went very lucky.
It did. It went very well.
All right, how about you, Esprit?
I don't, mainly because I don't have a giant collection of dice. I do have in-person dice. I don't use digital. But there's pretty much one set that I've been using this entire time, and it's been the one that's been doing very well. So
yes,
I'm just going to keep using it while... I'll just keep using that while I can.
All right, then. So here's another more in-depth question for the both of you. If your character manifested in your home for a single day, and they knew that they were going to be going back home safe and all that and not freaking out on you, what kind of activities would you do with your character?
Oh, I would go camping, for sure. I love camping, and living in the city, I don't get to do it as much. I think Thyra would be an awesome camping partner. Let her do all the heavy lifting. I just get to sit there and enjoy it.
That seems fair. For me, it would probably I'd probably have Alekian teach me how to lockpick, mainly because there are legal locksmiths that you can call, and so I feel like that'd be a really good handy job to have, or at least skill to have. That way, if I needed to, I could have that skill set.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds really interesting. All right, so I think this might be one of the final questions. All right.
Okay.
Very serious one as well. What do you think Daniel the Goat has been up to since you last encountered him?
There's my theory.
You have your theories?
I do. I mean, I know what I...
Please share.
I think Daniel is a god.
Ooh.
And he went in completely opposite direction as we did. I think he's still alive, grazing on the land, but we'll find him. And he'll turn out to be like a god or like some kind of special goat.
I feel like he's probably dead in the desert somewhere and is now just a pile of bones.
Shame.
Wow, polar opposite. Dead versus God. Place your bets in the next Discord chat below.
Hey, in some religions you have to die to ascend.
This is true. This is true. It could be both.
That's right, it could be both. But yeah, my own theory is that he's actually a shapeshifter.
Well, where we got him from, it would make a lot of sense if he was.
Yes, it would.
Because we got Daniel and Big Dacky with the werewolf. So it would make a lot of sense.
Oh, for sure.
All right then. Well, unfortunately, I don't believe I have any more questions for you guys. Oh wait, actually, I do. For predictions for the next stream, which by the way will be on Monday at 6:30. 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Twitch at the links below. What is your guys' prediction with the huge group that is surrounding everyone with Elakia not there?
I feel like
Free is exhausted.
I feel like Equa did that on purpose. Mainly this as far as being that many people. Because he wants it to be a more or less completely one-sided fight. So they can try and capture them, and then I have to go on a rescue mission or something like that. Not necessarily that's going to happen, but that might have been the initial plan. So
I think there are so many because we have kind of been tearing through his monsters and his bosses. So he's trying to test us, and I think most of the group will be able to get away.
Most,
I feel like
but not all.
I feel like it might boil down to kind of the same thing that we had to do down in the in the sewer, where it's just gonna be they're just gonna have to run away and do their best to get away because they have 3 groups, and so I think from the way Equa was talking, there is still a way out, not necessarily that's not having to go through them. So
yeah, I wonder
we'll
if they're standing over a sewer gate. Back into the sewers. All right then. So I believe that
Free's not going into the sewers.
Definitely not.
No. All right then. Well, I believe that is everything that we have here. So thank you so much, Dyto, and thank you so much, Esprit, for joining me today on the After Emoris show. So remember, as I said before, you can check out the Emoris on Mondays at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And if you're also interested in seeing the Grizlog DM'd D&D session, you can check out Fandelver on Twitch, which is, mind you, a pre-recorded session at the same time at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Links are in the description below, and you can follow these lovely players at. Go ahead and make your plugs.
I'm on Twitch. I'm trying to get back into streaming myself at twitch.tv/Esprit the Dragon. All one word. And then on Twitter at Esprit the Dragon as well.
All right, Dyto?
I do have a Dyto D&D channel. I don't stream on it much. I'm kind of a nomadic streamer. I stream with friends when they're streaming, and you can find me on Swindler's Den on Monday night.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at ZeldaNerd1988. I have been Nyssa. These two have been awesome. So hope you guys have yourself a great day. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next Emoris session. Bye.
Bye.